here. And we'll go this way. So, I've seen him walk.
Can I get out?
I think you can. You didn't get hit at all. So, whoa.
How big is this fire?
So basically, there was a, Watch Mojo list of top 10, signs you know a game's gonna suck. Which, first of all, I can't really say for sure that all of them were correct. Like, yeah, there's a lot of signs. Doesn't always mean it's absolutely going to suck. But they did make a lot of good points until they got to one certain section. And yes, it has a Sonic-related thing, but it's not completely about Sonic. It was also discussing some other things. My cat was just right there just now. Basically, let's see, basically, they brought up when a game is dark and edgy, like when a certain game in a more kid-friendly series is going for a more dark and edgy thing to it. I'm just like, that doesn't mean it's going to suck, because yeah, there are some cases, but a lot of the games they brought up were actually good.
Guess that was all right.
One thing was Shadow the Hedgehog. Which, yeah, there are people who don't like it, but you know. But like, you know, words and such. You know, I think we've already seen this cutscene that's coming up, but we'll be sure. No, we haven't.
Ah, my precious Chaos Emerald. You are also beautiful. Your mysterious brilliance. Omega? What's he doing here?
Seems he's in standby mode.
What could have possibly happened to create this future? Yes, this is Rouge. Understood. We'll be there in a minute. It looks like Sonic and his friends have found something too. Let's go. It's not like we can do anything for him now.
Yeah.
He was my best friend. Screw Maria. Anyway, let's get this mic over here a little bit. There we go. Okay, yeah, this is the cutscene we've already seen. But anyway, we have to fight the same boss, I think, except with Shadow this time. But anyway, yeah, okay, well, it's not the boss just yet. But basically, what am I trying to say here?
The Cross's energy is out of control. Is it because of the Chaos Emeralds?
But it wasn't just Shadow the Hedgehog that they pointed out for it. See, now this is the first time I've actually done walking on a loop. I think it's because I accidentally did something. But that was the first time I ever seen the loop glitch. I don't know if I've actually seen it with Shadow before on YouTube or anything. But it...
Like I can use that monster.
But basically, anyway, getting back to the Watch Mojo thing, they were talking about how they were trying to make a edgy, how making the edgy versions of of kid-friendly stuff, or ones that are usually more kid-friendly or family-friendly or whatever. One I could agree, like one that was actually bad was that Bomberman Zero, whatever it was called, or whatever it was called, that Bomberman game where it was like edgy, but it wasn't because it was trying to be all dark and edgy. It was because the game just didn't look all that good. Like, or it looked like it was a little bit broken and stuff. That was the reason. It wasn't because it was edgy. I mean, something like Bomberman, well, it could work out as a more darker thing, but you know, they would need to do a better job at it than with, you know, than they did. But trying to think, whenever, but they also talked about like Epic Mickey and let's see, Epic Mickey and the Legend of Spyro series, which those, I know they're not everyone's favorite, but those are still like decent. And it's not because they went dark and edgy. It's because but like when something like that happens, you know. Anyway, that's why you gotta have your own opinions on things, because there's a lot of like popular opinions where if you disagree with them, they're like, "What? No!" You know, just. I'll admit, I've had my moments where if someone says something about Sonic, I'm like, "Hey," but there's usually two people who really don't have their own opinion on a lot of stuff like that. Usually they're just like, "I hate Sonic, what's the reason?" And then they think of what their favorite YouTubers or whatever reviewers say. But hey, it's the anchoring effect, but that extra credits talked about before. When they see a game that doesn't get, when people see a game that doesn't get the best reviews, and they don't have any opinion on it, and one of the first things they saw was the review, they'd be more likely to starting to think maybe I shouldn't do that just yet, but gather those things, but oh well, here we are. But basically, people who see bad reviews or lower reviews will be more likely to give it a lower score themselves, and like point out a lot of problems and stuff, and a lot more problems, whether or not they're actually as bad as they say they are. But people who see a high review on games are more likely to, usually more likely to forgive its flaws and everything. Of course, then you also have the people who are kind of rebellious or in terms of that, and just say, you know, it's actually the opposite. It's better than blah 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 because, and you know, dude, I think you know where I'm getting at. But yeah, like, so I've tried to form my opinion and not really listen to too many, you know, which one thing I understand is when it comes to reviews, you know, you get it, or you, of course, there's a lot of famous critical reviews that, you know, that like they get paid to do stuff, to give those games good scores. So you can't really trust critics that much, or, you know, like IGN, stuff like that. But with like YouTubers and stuff that don't do that, you might be able to trust them a little more, depending. Well, one thing I understand is, you know, what if you spend money on it and you don't like it? But that honestly can be the case with any game, whether it's got a good rating or not. Because there have been times where I get games that have gotten good ratings and stuff, good review scores and everything, but then
It's erupting.
end up I end up not liking it, basically. And then there have been times where at first I was hesitant to get something because I got a poor score, and then when I got it, I was like, hey, this is actually good. Let's see. Oh, it's going in there. Whee! Now I actually got this at a time when this game I was actually able to have my own opinion on, I should say. Of course, I was still a kid, so I wasn't fully... I mean, I was like a teen, but still, I was a kid by the time I got this. It was like a couple of years after it had already come out. But, like, basically, it's...
That volcano.
I was able to form my own opinion for the most part. And I didn't really have good internet at the time, so I wasn't able to look at review scores of this or anything. But you know, people who don't know anything about a game and stuff like that, and they try it on their own, don't look up anything about it, they just try it, usually are the ones that can form their own opinion the best. Let's see. And my opinion on this game, as I've said many times, is that I think it's okay, despite its flaws. I think the very, very overemphasis on the flaws of this game are very well exercised. They say it's one of the most broken games out there. And I'm just like, I'm just thinking, I have played much worse than this. So, you know.